Hi guys, in this video we are going to learn about magnets. So let's start. In this slide you are going to be introduced to magnets. When was magnet invented? There is no accurate date, but the history of magnetism dates back to before 600 BC. What are different kinds of magnets? Different kinds of magnets are temporary, permanent, and electromagnets. What are different types of magnetism? Different kinds of magnetism are diamagnetism, paramagnetism, ferromagnetism, antiferromagnetism, ferrimagnetism, and superparamagnetism. In this slide, you're going to learn how magnet was invented. The first magnets were not invented, but rather were found from a naturally occurring mineral called magnetite. Traditionally, the ancient Greeks were the discoverers of magnetite. The first person to actually make a magnet was Britain's William Gilbert. In 1600, he discovered not only that the earth itself was a magnet, but also that magnets could be forged out of iron and that their magnetic properties could be lost when that iron was heated. What are in this slide we are going to talk about what are different types of magnets. Temporary magnets. Temporary magnets are made of soft metals that are magnetized only when exposed to a permanent magnetic field or an electric current. Permanent magnets. Permanent magnets are materials where the magnetic field is generated by the internal structure of the material itself. Electromagnets. An electromagnet is a type of magnet in which the magnetic field is produced by an electric current. Okay, in this slide, you're going to learn more about temporary magnets. How does temporary magnet work? Temporary magnets are made of soft metals that are magnetized only when exposed to a permanent magnetic field or an electric current. When they come into contact with the magnetic field, they become magnetized. When the magnetic field is removed, they gradually lose their magnetism. How long does temporary magnets last? A temporary magnet can lose its magnetization in less than 1 hour. How was temporary magnet invented? Temporary magnets are created by passing an electric current through a wire or rubbing an iron object with a permanent magnet. More about permanent magnets. How does permanent magnets work? Permanent magnets are materials that generate their own magnetic field. The field lines of a permanent magnet run from north to south. How long does permanent magnets last? Permanent magnets can last for years if they are kept in optimal conditions. For example, a neodymium magnet is estimated to lose about 5% of its magnetism every 100 years. How was permanent magnet invented? In 11th century, uh, Chi- in 11th century China, it was discovered that quenching red hot iron in the Earth's magnetic field would leave the iron permanently magnetized. This led to the development of navigational compass. More about electromagnets. How does electromagnet work? Electromagnet work by using the magnetic effect of electric current. They are made of cells of wire with electricity passing through them. When the coils of wire have an electric current passing through them, the coils behave like a magnet. How long does electromagnet last? Suspended electromagnets have an average lifespan of 20 years. However, electromagnets are temporary magnets that only behave as magnets when an electric current flows through them. Um, how was permanent magnet invented? Sorry, it's electromagnet invented. Sturgeon discovered the electromagnet while experimenting with Ampere's coil. He wrapped the coil of wire around an iron bar, and the iron bar amplified the magnetic effects of the coil. Types of magnetism. Diamagnetism. It is a property of materials that repel magnetic field. When a magnetic field is applied to a diamagnetic material, the material creates an induced magnetic field in the opposite direction, causing a repulsive force. Paramagnetism. Paramagnetism is a weak phenomenon where materials are weakly attracted to magnetic fields. This happens because the materials have unpaired electrons which have a magnetic dipole moment and act like tiny magnets. Ferromagnetism. Ferromagnetism is a property of some materials that allows them to form permanent magnets or be attracted to magnets. It's a type of paramagnetism that occurs when a material becomes magnetized in an external magnetic field and remains magnetized. Okay, these are the images of the types of magnetisms. Okay, in this slide you are going to learn about types of magnetism. Antiferromagnetism. Antiferromagnetic materials are similar to ferromagnetic materials, but the exchange interactions between neighboring atoms leads to the antiparallel alignment of the atomic magnetic moments. Ferrimagnetism. Ferrimagnetism is a type of magnetism that occurs in solids when the magnetic field of individual atoms spontaneously align. The magnetic moments of these atoms have opposing magnitudes, but they don't cancel each other out. They result in a spontaneous magnetization that occurs below a characteristic temperature called the needle temperature. Superparamagnetism. Superparamagnetism is a form of magnetism which appears in small ferromagnetisms or ferrimagnetic nanoparticles. Insufficiently small nanoparticles, magnetization can randomly flip directions under the influence of temperature. The typical time between two flips is called the Neal relaxation time. These are the images of the types of magnetisms. Okay, this was the end of the video. Thanks for watching, like and comment, and please subscribe.